Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. All right, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the brothers teaching the truth and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, the 1/3 sincere listeners. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to title this video yet. Maybe something like along the lines of since when does this happen? You know what I mean? And pretty much this is I'm just going to go through this video here. A rare event has taken place. All right. But notice how this news channel did not showcase the 8th lane. So this brother is not brother, but this Jake, he's in the 7th lane, right? But they didn't say who's in the 8th. And it's going to go down the line, the various nations, quote unquote, but they're all Jakes here, okay? These are all Jakes, all right? But they don't show you what's going on here in the 8th lane, all right? So I'm going to let this play. It might be a little long, okay? But I want you to see what I see. If you see what I see, let me know, okay? Because I'm gonna make my point once you see what I see. All right.
Get set for this men's 4x100 meter final with Australia out in 8. There's Ghana.
Okay, right. So Australia's out in 8. Why didn't they start this clip with Australia out in 8? And why didn't they show the names of who's in lane 8? You get what I'm trying to say? I'm sure you know where I'm going here. All right. Let's see if I can speed this up a bit. Autoplay settings.
Anchor for Ghana. Here's the fastest team in qualifying
speed.
And one of the hottest relay foursomes in the world, South Africa. They clocked a scintillating time of 38:30 in the heats. Ever reliable anchorman Simbine will bring it home. Watch the
Nigeria.
Is an explosive starter.
All right, but according to ICPK, these guys are Hamites, right? But we're spiritual. We brought that out. We brought that out. Let me get that, anyways. Dispersed Judah. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Let's see. Anyways, but yeah, according to these assholes, ICBK, okay, that these guys would be Hamites, right? This is the main point. Obviously, if you know this chapter, you know what it's getting into. But I just want to get the scripture quick. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. So Judah's going to be all over. The kingdom of Judah, they're going to be all over the earth. Okay? So for you to say that these guys are straight up Hamites, then you're going against Bible prophecy. All right, there's a lot of Israelites in the land of Ham. Okay, who are you to decide? Who's a Jake and who's not? All right, you're basically kind of numbering Israel, man. Okay, you're not being spiritual. Okay.
Ajahi, a 984 man this year. Then
okay, all Jakes. Okay,
they beat Canada in their opening round heat here today. Here come the Canadians, the Olympic champions. They're
Jake, even though it's Canada is all Jakes, all right? All Israelites.
And Brendan Rodney being subbed in for Dwayne Asamoah with Andre DeGrasse on the...
And I will say this, okay? We not all Jake look like a so-called black man, okay? So this guy could be a Jake as well. And I'm gonna get to the point. Don't worry, you're gonna see the Australian team. Okay.
The anchor, England.
I just seen some. I'm just saying. I seen something very weird, and you're gonna see it too. But this is what the wicked are. You'll see.
Number 3 with the best this year of 38:43, and Ramel Glaive on the anchor for the English. The Jamaicans, perennial.
So see, they show all the 7 teams is basically all Jake, which is probably all Jake, right? All the 7 teams are Jake.
Powers
Okay.
in the relays did not look good in the first round, as they have Akeem, Rohan, Christopher, and Jerome Campbell on the anchor for them. Blake, Watson, Taylor, and Campbell, and then Kenya in lane 1 with Odiambo, Ekwam, Babu on the third leg, and Sabila on the anchor for Kenya.
Some questionable Jakes, but they're most likely Jakes anyways. You know what I mean?
So this race really looks
You can't be carnal, right? We look like all the nations. You know what I'm saying? But I believe they're Jakes.
like it's lanes 4, 5, and 6. Canada.
All right, look at lane 8 right here. Okay, but why didn't they show lane 8? You know what I'm saying? What's cool? Whatever.
Lane 4,
I'm gonna let this
ahead
play
to the
too.
Fleet Nigerians in 5, and the fastest here in Glasgow, the South Africans in 6. And the Canadians and their well-timed, well-oiled quartet get that baton around cleanly and quickly, as they have so many times as Olympic champions and world champions in the relay.
And one thing I'll say about the Canadians, I guess I'm being biased, but like you said, they can get that baton around the track, very well. They may not have like the best pound for pound sprinters, like obviously Andre DeGrasse, right? But they have enough to get that track, that baton across the track in a good time. You know what I mean? In smooth transition, their handoffs are good. You know what I mean? But that's besides the point. And really, they're the favorite to win, honestly. Okay, I gotta say that. So
the gun in their way in the final of the men's 4x100-meter relay. Aaron Brown charging hard but trying to keep pace as Nigeria moves away.
Look
through
at
the
this.
first exchange.
Look at
Leading
this.
For Canada. Jerome Blake down.
look at what's going on here in lane 8. Okay, just see what's going on here. Never before seen. You get what I'm trying to say? Okay.
Canada closer at this point than they were in the first race to Nigeria.
I never seen this in my life.
As they unravel this
What's
stagger.
going on
Australia
here?
Strong outside. The Nigerians and South Africans. It's Nigeria first in the exchange. Here comes
What is
the grass.
this?
The grass is behind. The grass on their shoulder.
What is this? What's going on here?
The grass at the line. And so
What?
Australia strong outside. The
Who?
Nigerians and
Who's strong outside? Since when? Since when? I just want to know since when. Since when. I can't be mad at it if they had a history of I can't be mad at that. But this is too weird to me.
Africans. It's Nigeria first in the exchange. Here comes the grass. The grass is behind. The grass on their shoulder. The grass at the line. It's so close.
Yeah.
Outside the Australians.
Okay.
Very close. May have pipped Canada for gold.
Okay, so we see who won. Okay, and now I'm not saying they're not they can or can't be Jakes. Okay, but I just find it very weird. I've never heard. I know about track and field. I know who's kind of on the scene. I know who runs fast. I have a background in track and field myself. You know what I mean? And I know people, like, you know what I'm saying? I never heard of these guys. And these guys, I don't even think they had individual medals in the Olympics, in the world, in individual medals in the world championships. You know what I'm saying? I never heard of these guys before. Okay, I know Canada has medals in relay, individual medals and stuff like that. Okay, obviously this was not Jamaica's best team. The Americans weren't there because it's the Commonwealth Games. But notice how they pulled this stunt, which I believe is a stunt. Okay, I believe it's a stunt. To pretty much say basically Edomites are running shit. It's their last hoorah of them, like, basically saying we're better than you guys, we're stronger than you guys, we're faster than you guys. But since when? That's what I went at. Since when? And those guys could be Jake, but it's about the It's about the presentation of how Issa has his witchcraft for this world when it comes to skin color and all these things, right? So, you know, if I believe, really and truly, I believe these guys were on the juice, and I can say that because I don't, I don't run, I'm not part of no damn affiliation or whatever. I'm not a friggin' sports analyst, so I can say that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I believe these guys were on the juice, man. These guys were definitely doping up. There's no way you're beating, guys. Even the South African, the Simbine, that guy had been up in the finals of 100-meter finals from time. Okay, you beating Andre DeGrasse's team. You beating Andre DeGrasse. Like to me, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? The Nigerians actually are coming up now too. Especially, they're making a name for themselves more so in track and field as well. I noticed which is good. They're Jake anyway, but but I never heard of these guys. Honestly, I don't even know their names. They didn't even show me their name. I never heard of them before. Okay, but what I believe Esau is doing is he's trying to make it seem like like I said, we're the superior ones. That's what he's trying to say. It's all subconscious. You see what I'm trying to say? And he showed you that in the World Cup as well. Slighting Jake, slighting the African nations. You know what I mean? The referees are over refereeing or under refereeing the games to make sure Edomite nations win over the African nations, quote unquote, over over the European nations, so to speak. Right? And that's what's going on. He's trying to work a psychological psychological warfare on the minds of people, on the minds of you Israelites, to really break you down to think that you have no hope. That's the broader, deeper message I'm getting from this what do you call it? That's the deeper, broader message that I'm getting from this game here. Okay? Because I think the Australian won the 100-meter as well. Commonwealth Games 100-meter final. Okay.
They are both super fast. Ajayi, the third fastest in the world this year, with 9.84. The Senate has been in incredible form too. Well, let's take a look at these men. The Ghanaian, Benjamin Azamati. He was a football player as a kid. His PE teacher told him to take up running, and how that's worked. He won his heat yesterday. Season best of 10 seconds. Said it was 4 years ago. Can he go on his one place better here to get a medal? The powerfully built Australian Edward Nketiah. Boy, he's the biggest fella out there. There's a few rugby clubs who like his presence on their books. There's no doubt about that. He goes in two, the Aussie. Lachlan Kennedy's teammate right beside him. Now, he did play rugby. Actually, rugby union as a unit junior for Australia, the man from Brisbane. Personal best in his semi-final.
And they even put the Jake on the see that? And there's another Jake that runs for Australia. His name is Goot Goot. They didn't even have him run. So I could understand if it was like they put Goot Goot on there and all these things. If you look up Goot Goot, I'm gonna show you what Goot Goot looks like. He looks like a Hamite, but he could be a Jake, man. But I don't know. This is very questionable, Remember, our enemies had certain abilities too, man. They could, we're warring with these guys, so the Lord put them on a level 2, man. But he could be a Jake, man. I don't know. It's not up to me. It's not up to me, you know what I'm saying? But he wasn't even running, because he's from Australia. Ipswich, Australia, whatever. He's born in Australia. He's from Australia. But he wasn't even running on the relay team. Maybe he's injured. I don't know. But, I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to show you this guy. Anyways, there's an interesting look on his, interesting face. But like I said, you seen all Jakes.
9-4. Don't discount Lachlan Kennedy. He's a quick starter. Zola Ajayi goes in lane 4. The 21-year-old Nigerian, 6th in the World Championships last year. He won the Diamond League in London last week in 9.84. He's in wonderful form. He won his semi-final, so in 9.94 here tonight, just a couple of hours ago. The Cameroonian Emmanuel Aseme goes in lane 5. He won his semi-final in 9.89. A new national record in that red strip. 5th in the world indoors in 2026. He makes the most of every metre of the 100, and his form recently has been fantastic. Kipley Olela of South Africa. Well, the South Africans with a brace of performers in this one. Makes you wonder if they can get amongst the medals. He goes in lane 6, Kipley Olela, and he'd get a gift here for South Africa. Jeremiah Azu of Wales, a big roar for him with plenty of Welsh supporters in the crowd. He was 5th 4 years ago, European indoor champion last year. A couple of weeks later, he took the world indoor title, and he won his heat in 10.10. He's in great form, Azu. Cheswell Johnson of South Africa, he won his heat in 10.21. It's a lifetime best 10.02. He was a world-class long jumper with a switch to focus upon sprinting. Has certainly worked a treat, hasn't it, because he finds himself here in this Commonwealth Games final. We are guaranteed a new champion. Ferdy Omanyala dipped out at the semi-final stage, just didn't have the legs on this occasion, the powerfully built Kenyan. 5 Africans, though, go in this final. Aseme, does he start here as favourite? Won the African Championships. He already has a gold earlier on this summer. That was in Accra, in Ghana, in May. 9.89 in his semi-final. Ajayi in lane 4. 9.94 in his semi-final. Don't forget Lachlan Kennedy in his semi-final. 9.94. He's broached new ground here tonight. The Commonwealth Games 100 metres final. As Amasi Ghana in 1, Edward Nketiah of Australia 2, Lachlan Kennedy of Australia in 3, Ajayi Nigeria 4, Aseme Cameroon 5, Layla South Africa 6, the Welshman Azu 7, South Africa's Johnson in lane 8. To left of picture. Well, away they go, really good start left Ajayi in the green of Nigeria. And look at Lachlan Kennedy. Kennedy is matching him stride to stride. He might even take this one. And he's going to take it off Duffy now. Coming through the...
What? Since when? Since when? I don't even know who this guy is. I've never heard of this guy in my life. But whatever. You know, if you see what I see, you know what I see. You know what I see. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. What was the even? What did he run?
There is Aseme for Cameroon. Wow. Talk about holding a form during the last 10 metres. I would have sworn Lachlan Kennedy was going to take that one. 5 metres out, he was in the lead. He chased down Ajayi. He'd worn him into fatigue there through the last 50. Lachlan Kennedy did everything necessary.
So he got it?
There's Emmanuel Aseme from Cameroon. Winner of his semi-final in 9.89. 9.83. It's a new games record.
Okay.
Boy, oh boy. And he had to run that fast to get the better of Kennedy. There's no doubt about that. Because the winning time, 9.83.
But who's okay, so who's this Kennedy guy? But okay, I guess, you know, Jake ended up winning. But it was really close. It was really close. I'll tell you that. Okay. Yeah, that's too close for comfort, honestly. I don't know, you know, but I'm just saying this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's making these guys go on juice and he's trying to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You can't put it past this devil. So, you know, you can't, man. At the end of the day. Oh, right. I'm gonna get another clip too. I'm in my sports bag today. Okay. But this is Job 21:7. Wherefore do the wicked live, become old? Yeah, are mighty in power. Their seed is established in their sight with them, and their offspring before their eyes. Their houses are safe from fear. Gated communities, right? And the list goes on. All right, in these certain suburbs, upper middle class to high class, you know, whatever. Neither is the rod of Yahweh upon them, you know. Yeah, because the Lord ease up on these Edomites. It's their kingdom, right? Even though they get judged too, you know, but they still have influence and power over on this world. Their bull gendereth and faileth not. Their cow calveth and casteth not her calf. They send forth little ones like a flock, and their children dance. Okay, and you know, they're in a state of mirth, man. Okay, but they're pretty much mocking you Israelites right now, man. It says they take their timbrel and harp and rejoice at the sound of the organ. They spend their days in wealth and in the commonwealth. Wow, I didn't even know this was gonna say this. But I just show you the Commonwealth Games, right? That's what they call it, right? Commonwealth Game. I ain't lying. That's the spirit, man. So Barakatah Yahweh Shai for that, man. For making that, revealing that. You see how the spirit works? It's crazy. They spend their days in wealth and in a moment go down to the grave. You know? But that's how they live, man. You know? This is Psalm 37:1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers, neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity. All right, for they shall soon be cut down like grass and wither as the green herb. Now, you know, like I said, it's not like you don't see Edomite looking people in track and field or in sports. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like, even when you look at the Lakers now, let's look at the new Lakers roster. New Lakers starting five. Images. Where's that photo? Really, it's these guys. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. Where's that one that they had all? Okay, I think this is it. Regardless, this is it. This is the one right here. Okay. Mainly look Edomite looking guys, right? But they're most likely Jakes. Okay, so we know Luke, the college guy Luka. He gets down with the rock. You know what I mean? I drops 40 a game. You cannot be. You got to be a Jake to do that in this league, man. You know what I mean? This guy, he's a Jake. You know what I mean? Austin Reed, he's a Jake. You know, not to say it matters, but we know our people, man. At the end of the day, obviously this is a Jake. Ah, man, it's just funny, Lord just have a sense of humor, man. I'm telling you. Did I read verse 2? It says, for they shall be soon cut down like the grass and wither as the green herb. Okay, Psalms 37:2. I do want to get home run derby. This is GMS Sports Clips. Okay, it's just to prove the excellency of Jake. Winner. Okay. And really and truly, I'll just play the clips here. Don't even matter to me. So So basically, because he was in in Phillies, even though this was like the All-Star weekend for MLB, the story behind it was that there was a guy, a Edomite-looking guy, this guy here, Schwarber, I guess, they were obviously rooting for him. You know what I'm saying? But then, Jake on the Cardinals, a Judite, African American so-called Judite, right? Which is rare in MLB now to get an actual African American playing baseball, even though they invented the game. Esau want to kick you out of the game and act like you didn't invent the stealing of the bases and all these things. That you want to act like you never put swagger into the game and put excitement into this boring ass game, so to speak, because they call it America's pastime, right? But here it is. He used you to revolutionize the game. Then he disenfranchised you so you can be out of the game. Okay, that's why you don't see Jake playing baseball like that. Because why? He's made the sport very expensive to play in. Why? So so only Edomites can play in it. Basically, Edomite looking Jake, or not Edomite looking Jake, but Edomite looking people, okay, can play it. And they're okay with that. I'm not saying some of them could be Jake or whatever, that's not for me to decide. You know, let me get that anyways. Because it's not up to me. It's up to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. This is Matthew 13:24. And the parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while man slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. All right, you had Edomite men laying with Israelite women. Okay, and then the children were looking like Israelites, because you also had Israelite men laying with Edomite woman, and basically, you know, you just get a mixed breed looking child either way, right? But if you're not spiritual, you're just gonna go based off of, oh, they're just half and half. No, but there's literally a spirit in the man's seed, man. Okay, and what's spiritual about that is because when there's images and video footage of when the sperm hits the egg, there's like a spark of light as soon as it hits the egg. That's letting you know that's an energy, that's a spirit, okay, that's attached to that sperm cell, okay. And really, that's really when the Lord puts down the spirit into that sperm cell, and you know, you're back from the heavens into the world, you know, so to speak. You're in the womb until you get born again, so to speak. Literally born again, because we come back, reincarnation, right? And the brother said, if you don't understand reincarnation, then you need to put down the Bible. There's no point in even reading the Bible. If you can't understand reincarnation, you cannot understand the Bible. Just close the book. You have no hope. You have no faith. Right? You can't understand these things in the scriptures, man. All right. He said, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seed in thy field? For whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, right? The deliverance, really when it's time to be delivered. Okay? And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them. And that's really a representation of Esau, Edom, man, because that's going to be his latter end. All right? To be burned at the stake, so to speak. And really and truly, according to Obadiah. Okay? And it says, but gather the wheat into my barn. Okay? And the wheat is the good fruit, and literally, and the Israelites. Okay? The elect of Israel, and through the elect, the rest of Israel. All right? But I wanted to, let's just see what Jake's saying here.
That should do it. Number 8 for Jordan Walker tonight in the final round.
Yeah, and he has his father, you know, and his father and mother is there, and his father's there cheering him on, bigging up his son. Okay, and they hate to see that. They hate to see a Jake father be there for his son, be a supporting, you know, because what's the thing that they like to say? Oh, you have no father, you don't know your father, you know, and they make a joke out of it. Fatherless activities. But then when the father is in the house, you're mad too. So it doesn't matter. You're mad when the father's not in the house, and you're mad when he is in the house. But they're more mad when he's not in the house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, Salakia. They're more mad when he is in the house. Okay? This is Ecclesiasticus 30:3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Okay, and that's why when you're there for your son, you're teaching him guidance and wisdom. All right, it vexes the enemy. You know what I'm saying? Our enemies are vexed. Okay, I did a video on it, but said that Judah, African American men, are the most involved father compared to all in their children's life compared to other races of men. Okay, so that narrative that they have that Jake is not present and not there, well that's that statistic proves it says otherwise. It's just that the narrative has more power than the truth, which Esau controls the narrative, right? So that's what's going on.
Here we go. It's one. Number 9 for Jordan Walker is the shoulder impression. Closer still with number 10. Wow. We are tied. Jordan Walker wins it! Come on, baby!
I did it. Yeah, I like to see that, man. I don't care, man. Victory. That's just to come for us, brothers. We gonna do it. We gonna say we made it. You know what I'm saying? Lord will, man. We made it. Yeah, we made it, brother. We made it, brother. Brother, come on. Victory over our enemies, man. Come on, man. This, you know what I'm saying, this is just a precursor of things to come. Yeah, it's low level baseball, whatever. But you gotta have fun at this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have fun. Come on, man. The salt of the earth, man. Former of all things. You know? This is Psalm 73:3. For I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Alright, this is talking about the wicked. Okay? Go look up who the wicked are. Okay? Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. Okay, they say, "Oh, get over it. That was a long time ago. You have free healthcare now. You're free now, right?" They say shit like that. Okay. They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup, and wrung out to them. And they say, How doth Yahweh know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Right? Behold, these are the ungodly that prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Okay? But, this is who's running the world right now. This is who calls the shots. This is who makes things go as is, who controls the narratives. Okay? And all we can do is just teach the truth and nothing but it. You understand? But I'll say, Shalom. Lord will you edify by this video. And I'll say to the next one, Shalom.